Dan Sheehan's 4-match ban, reckless play or harsh punishment. One reckless move, 4 matches lost. How Dan Sheehan's Test series-defining moment reshaped rugby's approach to player discipline. What happens when raw physicality crosses into recklessness on the rugby pitch? For British and Irish Lions hooker Dan Sheehan, this question became painfully clear during the decisive third Test against Australia. A moment that now threatens his early season with Leinster. A 26-year-old star whose explosive play once dominated headlines, Sheehan faces a 4-step disciplinary consequence for a clearout that left Australia fly-half Tom Lynagh, 22, concussed and removed from the field. World Rugby labeled the action reckless, citing a breach of Law 9.20, charging into a ruck/maul following a post-match review. The ban will reduce to 3 matches if Sheehan completes a World Rugby-approved coaching program aimed at safe contact practices. But here's the controversial twist. This collision, which sparked immediate concern among fans and commentators, went unnoticed by on-field officials during the game. Lynagh exited after failing a mandatory head injury assessment, HIA, a safety protocol World Rugby enforces to protect player welfare. While many argue post-match citations fill critical gaps missed in live action, others question whether crucial safety calls should exclusively fall to video reviewers. The disciplinary impact? Sheehan's suspension sidelines him for Leinster's preseason game against Cardiff, followed by 2 high-stakes United Rugby Championship URC fixtures against South Africa's top-tier teams, the Stormers and Sharks. His return date, October 18th, coincides with a rivalry match against Munster, raising questions about player prioritization in rugby's packed calendar. Sheehan's Lions tour had been a resurgent story. The Leinster hooker scored a pivotal try in the second Test's dramatic victory and even captained the side when Maro Itoje left the field during the third match. His performances had positioned him as a potential late-season star, a narrative now overshadowed by this disciplinary setback. The broader context: Australia's Sydney victory denied the Lions a historic 3-0 series win, their last clean sweep dating back to 1927 in Argentina. While players and coaches debated the series outcome, this incident raised fresh concerns about tackling techniques in modern rugby and the weight placed on post-match disciplinary panels. The bigger question remains: is a 4-match ban sufficient for a reckless action, or should such incidents incur stricter penalties? Should officials hold more accountability for in-game calls? Or does the citing system appropriately balance real-time limitations with post-match rigor? Share your thoughts. Agree or disagree with the disciplinary decision below. Dan Sheehan suspended 4 matches after Lions vs. Australia incident, rugby controversy. Imagine the shockwave in the rugby world. Dan Sheehan, the formidable hooker for both Ireland and Leinster, has been slapped with a 4-match suspension. But here's where it gets controversial. Updated on Monday, August 4th, 2025 at 18:48, the news broke that Sheehan's suspension stems from an illegal clearout of Australia's Tom Lynagh during the thrilling third Test in Sydney last Saturday. The incident, which flew under the radar of Georgian referee Nika Amashukeli initially, was later scrutinized in replays, revealing that Sheehan's elbow seemed to graze Lynagh's head. The sanction, however, comes with a silver lining. It can be trimmed to 3 matches if Sheehan successfully completes a coaching intervention course. This raises a thought-provoking question. Should players be given such opportunities for redemption, or should the rules be stricter? During the first half of the Lions' 22-12 defeat at Accor Stadium, the 26-year-old's challenge went unnoticed. But Lynagh, the Wallabies fly-half, wasn't so lucky. He kicked a penalty shortly after, but had to leave the field for a head injury assessment, HIA, and didn't return. Sheehan's absence will be felt by Leinster, as he'll. Dan Sheehan cited for foul play, British-Irish Lions disciplinary review. Imagine the intensity of a high-stakes rugby match where every move counts and one misstep can change the game's trajectory. This is exactly what happened during the Australia versus British Irish Lions third test in Sydney on Saturday, 2nd August 2025. British Irish Lions player Dan Sheehan found himself in the spotlight for an act of foul play, as cited by the Independent Citing Commissioner, Adrian Menez. The incident, which allegedly violated Law 9.20a of the game, involves a player charging into a ruck or maul, a move that can be both dangerous and disruptive to the flow of the game. But here's where it gets controversial. The interpretation of this law can sometimes be subjective, leading to debates among fans and experts alike. What do you think? Should such actions always result in a citing complaint? Or is there room for more leniency in certain situations? Let's dive deeper into the details. Sheehan's case will now be reviewed by an independent Foul Play Review Committee, FPRC, the panel of experts tasked with ensuring fairness and consistency in disciplinary decisions. The FPRC, comprising Wang Xiaowing, Chair, Val Toma, and Mike Mika, will convene on Sunday, 3rd August 2025, to consider Sheehan's case. This process is part of World Rugby's expedited off-field sanction process, designed to handle such incidents swiftly and efficiently. The expedited process aims to minimize disruptions to the game while ensuring that justice is served. For those unfamiliar with this process, it involves a streamlined review by an independent committee, ensuring that decisions are made without bias and in accordance with the rules of the game. And this is the part most people miss. The expedited process not only speeds up the disciplinary actions, but also ensures that players and teams can focus on their performance rather than getting bogged down by lengthy legal procedures. To learn more about how this process works, you can visit World Rugby's Disciplinary Hub or read more about the expedited off-field sanction process. But the question remains, how do you feel about the current disciplinary measures in rugby? Do you think they are fair and effective? Or is there room for improvement? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's spark a lively discussion on this hot topic.